Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video in this series. Today I'll talk about material selection. I will talk about in a few parts because it has a few more concepts that then could fit in one video. So let's start with part. So I'll start with concept and factors. Now, when selecting a material, you want the correct properties. You want them at a low cost because no company really wants to spend a lot of money if possible. And finally, low maintenance, which means that maybe you have got a cheaper material, but you end up spending so much money on the maintenance that it's practically of no use. You could have just gone for a expensive material. So these three factors are critical when you're selecting the material. Now, what decides the life of a component? So, first of all, environment of exposure. Now, I have just given these two tank pictures. Suppose that this is a cubical tank and this is a cylindrical tank, just an example. And the environment of exposure, very important. So, the life always depends on what it is exposed to. How if the material is able to sustain that environment or not. So, for example, if you use carbon steel without any protection, without any coating in a severely acidic environment or severely salt environment, you're obviously not going to sustain that for a very long time. Then material. As I said, carbon steel. So let's say it's not working. Let's go for stainless steel. In stainless, if you say I'll use stainless steel for chloride environments, again, that is not going to work. That's going to reduce your stainless steel component life. So, selecting the correct material with the correct environment is important. Then the properties. Suppose you have got excellent environment of exposure, your material is also perfect for material for the environment, but the properties are not enough to sustain the operation. For example, suppose this is a tank and it requires that it should contain certain liters of an acid, and the service, that's your service requirement, and your material does not have that strength to sustain that many liters, so obviously it is going to fail. So a combination of properties and service requirements is critical when even if your environment and material is correct. Then next, design. This you have a perfect combination of the first four materials. Now, what's the next? Now, what's going to be the perfect design? If you go for a cubical design, say that's cheaper to make. Suppose if you go for a cubical design and you end up getting localized corrosive environments or stagnant liquid at the corners, if that happens, then that design will require a lot of that will sustain a lot of issues. So you may want to go for the correct design for your application. That will prolong the life of your component in the environment. Then manufacturing. You have done everything perfectly, but it has not been manufactured correctly. Maybe they use the wrong welding, wrong fixture, something has gone wrong. Then in that case, your component will again fail. The quality. Quality is a part and parcel of manufacturing. Whatever you manufacture with the correct environment material should have the required quality. It should satisfy all the requirements and specifications. Then the functioning and operation. Are you using that tank correctly? So if your tank has been designed for cold weather and you end up using it in a humid weather, obviously it is going to sustain a much more severe environment from external due to external conditions than it would in a cold environment. So are you using it? Is the operation of the component correct, or is it something that will shorten the life? Then maintenance. Are you maintaining it correctly at regular times, or do you just look at it when you have a leak? So maintenance of every little part of your component decides how long your component lives. Your component is only as strong as its weakest part, however small it may be. So maintenance of everything is critical. Then storage. This is not really considered, but storing the component before you use it, storing it and transporting in the appropriate times and using it before you use it is critical. If you store it in a warehouse that is not ventilated properly, it will just undergo corrosion and moisture even before you put into use. You may not notice it immediately, but it will definitely fail much earlier than you need. So that was about concept and factors. I will tackle the next step in the next video. Thank you.